Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to repair a faulty USB cable. I was given this keyboard by a mate to repair. It's just a clicker keyboard. What is it? It's a Philco brand FKB N87M/EB. Looks like a decent keyboard, got decent weight. The problem with this is it's broken inside here. The USB cable, the wires inside, it's been bent a bit too sharp. You actually maybe even see in there how the plastic's kind of split. We're going to repair that, and I'm going to show you how to do it. This sort of technique will transfer to pretty much anything with a strain relief, you know, USB or power or whatever. This strain relief is actually very stiff. It's pretty much not a strain relief at all. It's just moving the strain from where it exits the enclosure to about a centimetre away at the end of this bit of plastic. It's really not flexible, so that's a bit of a design fail there. It should be a lot softer to give a nice bend when you move the cable around. You can see there it's like a 90 degree there. That should be bending nicely, but whatever. We're going to basically shorten this wire, pull it in further, resolder it to the connector that's inside, and hopefully it will work. You can see I've already voided the warranty, just trying to figure out what was wrong with it. So we opened it up and figured out it was a wire. I've put it back together just for the purpose of this demonstration. So the tools we'll need is the usual hand tools, screwdrivers, cutters, you know, the normal sort of thing. Some heat shrink to cover our solder joins, and a heat source to shrink the heat shrink with. Maybe some drill bits as well. You'll find usually that the wire here is actually molded into the strain relief. It's like made as one piece, so we probably have to carefully drill out the old wire so we can slip the new stuff through and then use a bit of super glue to glue it back in. So we'll have a look at that closer when we get to it, and then it's just soldering iron and solder to make our joins. Not too much required. Alright, so let's open this thing up. Let's see what we got. I mean, I already know what we got, but I'll show you guys. Alright, so here we are with our wire extracted. Basically, we're going to chop it maybe a little bit back here, and then chop it somewhere around here, and join this to this and remove the central piece. And then we're going to relocate that strain relief to wherever it needs to be. So I'm going to give myself a decent amount of length on the inside, so we can keep that aside, and then on the outside we'll just chop ourselves about that much. And then we want to drill that out. So if we first go ahead and pull the guts out, so you can see there where the wire is inside the strain relief. We've got to drill that out so then we can put the new wire through there. Then we can just, like I said before, use some super glue and it'll be sweet. A few drops on the inside, maybe a cable tie on the inside as well, just to prevent it from being pulled and slipping out. So if we get our drill bit, I'm going to do this by hand. We need a drill bit that's the same size as our wires. That looks like it's about 4.5. We'll try doing it by hand to start with, because I don't want it to go sideways and mess everything up. This way it's a bit more controlled. It's really soft anyway, so we shouldn't have too much of a trouble. Might go through with a smaller one to start with. Just a bit of a pilot sort of drill. Alright, so there we go. I've drilled that out. What I did was I ended up going from a small drill bit that's much smaller than I needed, just to pilot drill it. And then I've gone up to the next size, and then to the final size. It's still a little bit tight, but it does go through. You can kind of maybe see in the light there that it's not actually coming through the strain relief. It's because the strain relief is kind of corrugated, it's cutting to the inside of the corrugations, which is kind of even all the way around, which is good because I've gone almost directly through the middle. So then if we stick this on here, that goes through perfectly. Look at that. So once we terminate this onto here, we can, like I said, we can put a little drop of super glue there. I'm not going to put it on the outside because that still wants to be flexible, and the super glue is going to stiffen it up a bit more than what it already is. So I'll put a little drop on the inside here, and I'll put a cable tie there as well, just to give it a bit of a double chance of not pulling out. Alright, so now it's time to make our connection. So first we'll split this open. And strip this back. Looks like there might be a ferrite bead on there. Yep, so we'll leave that on. I'll also see if they've terminated the shield. Have they? Yes, they have. So you can see there's red, white and green. If I can get my fingernail in between. There we go. Red, white and green, then two blacks. So we've got red, white, green and black. That's positive data, negative, and then we got our negative. So the black and red is our power. The green and white is our data. In your device the colours may be different, but usually black and red is positive and negative. In any case it doesn't matter, because you just literally connect the same colour to the same colour. It's paint by colours. Whatever that colour is, it could be yellow, green, blue, purple, doesn't matter. You just connect it straight through. And the extra one, the fifth one here, is our shield. So we've got to make sure that's connected as well, to make sure that the whole device is properly shielded and screened for interference, to prevent interference. And then we'll do the same on this side. Don't forget, put your heat shrink on. It's a pain if you forget and you got to undo everything. So always try and remember to put it on first. Just going to give myself a little bit more length here, if I can. Yep. You don't want the heat shrink too close to your join, because it will start to shrink from the heat of the soldering iron. So try and keep as much length as I can without going overboard. So if I make my join up here, heat shrink down there, should be fine. Okay, so make it on this side. Okay. Okay, so that's our connections made. Red to red, black to black, green to green, white to white, and then our shield to the shield. What I got to do now, stick it all inside here to keep it away from any shorts so it doesn't touch anything it shouldn't. Might just bring that a bit closer, and then we can start putting it back in the keyboard. Just like that. And there's our repaired wire, just like I bought one, with our stream relief. Just got to move that to wherever we want it, and then cable tie and glue. So we can plug this one back in. Whichever way it goes. That way. There we go. So I'll leave a little bit in there, just so it's not too tight. And then that will link into this little groove here. So I reckon like that looks pretty good. There we go. Stream relief, all done. Cable tie stops are coming out this way, which is the main strain, and then a little bit of super glue will stop it from being pushed back in, which can maybe cause the cable to get rubbed on contacts or, you know, sharp bits. So that's going to hold it nice and tight. Perfect. I tend to use Loctite brand. It's in Japanese, but it's Loctite liquid stuff, not the gel stuff. That's good for if you got some gaps, but you pay a little bit more for this stuff, but it's not watered down and it grips real good, so it's good quality stuff. It's only a few dollars here, so the price difference between this and the cheap stuff is well worth the cost to get a good strong bond. Alrighty, I just plugged into the computer and just tested to make sure it was giving me the key presses I was expecting, and yep, it's all good. I didn't video it, it's a bit boring, it's just typing on a keyboard. So we'll put this thing back together now, and then we'll be done. Easy as that. Strain relief is in. Just got to organise this a bit. Just like that. No problems. And with that, we are done. Look at that, just like I bought one. Still a bit stiff. It's a little bit softer now that I've drilled it out because it's not bonded to the central cable, that strain relief there. So it does bend a little bit nicer, but it's still pretty stiff. So I'll just tell my mate to be careful, and that way I won't have to do it again. Perfect. All done. We'll see you next time.